Wanted to bring you a video about how to use the POE website for trading and shopping properly so that you can get really good items a little bit cheaper. A lot of this might be common sense for people that have been out there playing the game for a while, but there's a lot of people that are newer that come to my stream and ask these kind of questions, so I thought I would help them out. I have this shield right here. This is a 300 ES shield. I bought it for 5 chaos. Now this should never be 5 chaos. This is an insanely good shield. Not only does it have a ton of resist on it, but it's 300 ES. Well, why is it 300 ES? Because I added the increased energy shield via the armor bench, which I actually got a low roll, so it'll be over 300. The reason why I was able to buy this for 5 chaos is because the person must not have understood that they could add energy shield to this. And the reason why I was able to find that is by using the websites here. So let's go ahead and pull them up. I'm just going to go over the quick basics of this website for everybody. Basically, this is POE.Trade. You can also use the POE website itself. It's got its own, but I think a lot of people have been just used to using this, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this. You can switch between the different leagues since we're in Hardcore Beastry. That's the one where you select. This allows you to select any different type of item you want, all the way, from divination cards, maps, nets, etc. And then you can select your base as well. So say you want an amulet that is going to be a gold amulet because you want magic find, for example. You can select that if you want a specific like strength on your amulet. So you can do that as well. These are basically numbers that you can plug in if you want a certain amount of DPS. So I can say I want a 500 DPS item and I can hit enter and it should give me all the ones that are at least 500 DPS. And then inside of here are the same things. These are the categories. You don't really need to worry about quantity, but that's just telling you how much it could be if you were to be 20. This is your physical DPS, your elemental, sorry, this is your physical damage, elemental damage, attacks per second, your overall DPS, the combination of the two plus your attacks, your physical DPS, so that's physical damage, attack speed equals that, and then your elemental DPS, elemental attack speed, and that. And using a calculator, you should be able to figure it out. Now, hopefully I do this right. 460, the low number, plus the high number, 552, times 1.49 divided by 2. 750.96. That's how you figure out DPS for weapons. In case you're wondering what yours is going to be, if it had physical damage in here, you would just add the physical damage plus the elemental damage times the attack speed, divided in 2, and it should give you your total DPS. So you can do that with total DPS, elemental DPS, physical DPS, and you can also do it for the defenses, which is what I did for my shield. Moving down here, you can get the different sockets, min and max amount of sockets you want. If you want an item to have at least 4 sockets, now all these items will have at least 4 sockets. If you want it to be a minimum of a 6 link, for example, same thing here. Now all these items, excuse me, all these items are 6 link. And then you can pick the different colors as well. Pretty standard and straightforward as far as that goes. This is your level requirement. Say you want an item that you can use at level 36 minimum. All these items will have at least that. So let's say you're leveling up and you're level 40. You want all the items to be at least level 40 or below. Now all these items should be level 40 or below. So if you're looking for like an upgrade on your weapon and you want a level 40 weapon, you put in the minimum of like say level 32 to 40, and that way you can get an upgrade in there. In case you're wondering about strength, dex, or int, same thing there. And then these are your mods, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky, and I'll, just go quickly over it because it's self-explanatory, but it can be a little tricky to understand, and we're going to get into that in a second though. But basically, if you want something with cast speed, you type in the word cast, a bunch of them come up. You can do cast speed, dual wielding, etc., etc. And if you want, like, these got crafted mods, implicit, explicit mods, enchantments, and if I'm not mistaken, the explicit mods are the ones that are on top of a weapon or like an amulet, for example. If I go amulet and I go amber, this is an explicit mod. Yeah, sorry, it's loading. So this is the explicit mod, and these should be the ones below it. So um, if you're looking for, you know, that particular mod on the item, for example, the cast speed again, if you want it on there. So if I do cast speed and amulet, the ones that have that should pop up. And you can do this for just about anything. So you do, life total, maximum of life. You can do energy shields. You can do total resist, which is my favorite, one of my favorites. And then what you do is you add in, like, say, fire resist as well. So you want all the resist to add up to 90, but you want at least 30 fire resist. When you click on that, it's going to show you all items. And then obviously you can select, shield, armor piece, boots, for example. So now I have 45 arm or 45 fire resist, and my total is 90. Now another neat trick you can do is click down here on that mod, and it'll give you what has the highest total resist. So for example, this weapon has 180 total resist with 60 fire. If you want the one with the highest fire, you can click there as well. It'll probably be the same thing, to be honest with you. So if you don't want the mod anymore, you can click them away. There's also an add filter group down here. So you can have two different groups. Now, why is this important? Well, as soon as I fix it all, there we go. Say you want a total resist of 90, and we'll go with life of 45, and then let's say you want cold resist or fire resist. You don't care which you get, but you need one of them, right? Well, right now this word "and," all these mods are going to go onto the item, okay? But if I click down here, for example, say I have to have 90 resist and I have to have 45 life on the item no matter what, but I only need one of these. So I'll click minimum of 1, count 1. Or say I don't ever want fire resist on an item that I'm looking up right now. I can hit not and only have fire resist here, or both of these, and it'll give me one that doesn't have cold or doesn't have fire. All right. And each one of these categories does something different. So, for example, if I do this, this should give me items with either fire or cold or both. And as you can see, it's doing exactly that. It is unfortunately giving me items that have both. So right here is a good example. This one only has fire, even though we have cold in there. Technically it has cold because of this, but so that's how you use this. Different mods and different groups if you need them. Down here, this is the quality of the item. Relatively unimportant unless you're looking up gems, for example. So say you wanted to look up 15 quality gem right here, and let's say we're doing Bloodlust. I'm honestly just picking random gems here. And I wanted 15 quality gems. Excuse me. Now all the gems are going to be 15 quality. You can also click on the quality to see what the highest one is. You can click on the level to see what the highest one is. And then look at that. 16 quality, 19 level gem for 1C. When the rest of them are going for about 7. Sorry guys, early in the morning. Here's another great one, 2C. Now this isn't a very popular gem, but the reason why this is useful is 15 quality means you need to use 15 GMPs, or you need to use the GMP recipe to flip it to be able to get this. This basically saves you 15 chaos. 7 to 15 chaos depending on the league's GCP costs. So what I like to do, especially if I'm starting a new character and I know what gems he's going to have, I want to try to buy them if I have the extra currency at, at least 15 quality. Now, if I were to buy this, it costs me 2C. I'm going to have to add 5 GCPs. So that's about 3 to 5 chaos. This means this total gem cost will be 7 chaos for this to be a 20, eventually 20 gem, which is not that bad at all. That's actually really cheap. Here's another great one. The level only, like, if I get to level 65 or whatever, I'm going to be able to wear this level 64. So what I really care about is this quality. It's only going to cost me 2 GMPs to put this at 20, and I'll get this at 20. that means it's going to cost me around 2 to 4 chaos to get this to a 20, eventually 20 gem, which is really, really cheap. And this is a great way to look up your gems. And you're also leveling, let's say you want a max level of 15 on the gem, but you want it to have 15 quality. You can do the same thing here. And now none of these gems should be above level 15. So that's what the quality is useful for in the item tier level. The item tier level is also useful if you're looking up item bases. You want level items that are 86 minimum. Oh, that failed. 76 minimum. Sometimes it does this, and it's probably because I have a mod that I don't realize. So let's try refreshing it and doing it again. Interesting. Not 100% sure what's going on. Oh, level and tier. Sorry, excuse me. Item level. I'm in the wrong spot. This is for that. So this would be for like level and tier. Say I wanted a level 3 talisman, for example. I could type in level 3 here, look up amulets talisman, and it would give me the level 3 talismans. This is what I meant to do. So these are all item level 76 or above. So item level 100, item level 100. And that's for your crafting bases and whatnot. Apologize for the misread there. The rarity is going to be, so if you want it to be anything normal, blue, yellow, unique, relic non, and then relic and non-unique. And this is really nice if you're looking up something. I think I have an example here, helmets, for example, and I want total of 80 resist. I like to use this, for example, because I can craft life on it. So what I did is I switched the crafting from either to no. So that way I know I can craft more onto this if I want to. And then if I go to rarity and pick non-unique, so I don't get stuff like 3 dragons, which has a lot of resist. Now I shouldn't have any uniques in here. And I can find something like this, for example. It's only got 1 prefix, which means I can add life to it. So I can just plop some life on that, and boom, I have a tri-resist with middle of the ground life. We'll come back to that in a second. The seller, the name, and the thread, I don't really use these. I'm not sure if anybody else does. Identified or non-identified. This is good for like if you want to complete a quest that says you need to have, you need to unidentify or you need to identify the item to be able to, do some of the achievements or something like that. Corrupted, yes or no. Pretty simple and straightforward there. This is gem experience. I haven't really used this. I don't think it applies too much, but I guess you could find like a gem that's right on the cusp of leveling up, maybe a little bit cheaper. Abyss sockets, so these are for the abyss items and whatnot. This could be useful. If you're looking up an item that has multiple chances of different sockets, you can look it up so that way you make sure you get like a 2-socket item or a 1-socket item. Shaped or eldered items, pretty straightforward, yes, no, or either. The map series, this isn't as useful if you only play in the leagues like I do, because we're just always going to be on the newest one, but in case you play standard. Crafted or non-crafted, this is what I was doing earlier. So, if you want an item that you can continue to craft on, this is how actually I particularly find cheaper items, is by finding ones that are uncrafted and doing it myself. And then enchanted is going to be your labyrinth enchants, I'm assuming. Online or offline, I usually leave it online. Alternate art, that's in case you're like, standard league trying to collect items. And normalized quantity, I actually don't know what that does. Never used it. Buyout currency, say you want something that costs at least 5 exalts for whatever reason. You can click that and it'll be that price, at least, if not more. And it kind of uses the current currency market to determine the prices there a little bit. So it's relatively accurate, but there's a few in there that you might not want to buy. I'd like to use this, for example, right now. Little trick that I'm doing is I go to Alch Orbs and I have it up on rings and I have it on unique rings only, and I'm buying as many unique rings for 2 elks or less that I can to get to that 60 mark so that I can sell them for that new item that everybody just found out about, that chest piece. So which I will do a video on another time as well. And then has a buyout, yes or no. This is good if you're searching for something that you want to get a little bit cheaper. It's a little, I don't know, some people find it to be kind of pointless or whatever, but if you're buying some leveling items, you can actually get them, a couple chaos cheaper by just spamming everybody that doesn't have a buyout and literally just spamming them. Like one right after another, offer one chaos, offer one chaos, offer one chaos, and over and over again, all the way down the line. Eventually, someone's going to hit yes to it. And if they don't, then you just go back up and buy the one that's 2 or 3 chaos. Doesn't save you much, but for a new player, you know, every little bit of chaos counts. So that's something you can do. And then exact currency is off. This is just what it says. So as far as the actual sheet here itself, the website itself, that's pretty much what you do going over that. I'm going to go ahead and click over here to the currency tab and go over the other part. So all I did is at the top here, right click, open new tab. So at the very start, it says currency tab, you click on it, it goes over to here. You select your league. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click on manage shop first. Basically, you click on your league, hardcore, whatever, and up here I got some examples. So I want to sell my silver coins, what you're selling, 4 of them for 13 jeweler orbs. I'm selling my 9 jeweler orbs for 7 coins. And this is market manipulation, and what a lot of people do, a lot of the bots are doing in this game right now, is they're trading back and forth small increment differences. For example, if you are to sell your jeweler orbs, or sorry, buy your jeweler orbs currently, it's costing you like 11.2 jeweler orbs per chaos at the current rate, but people are selling them for around 11.9 per chaos. So effectively, they're buying yours at 11.2 and then reselling them at 11.9. So they're making that 0.7 difference. You do that over a large, massive amount of items, you're going to slowly, get currency, just like the stock market or pretty much anything else. And this is just an example. This isn't necessarily what I have like set up on purpose to keep or anything like that. I'm currently looking for jeweler orbs, but so I looked up the price of coins per jeweler orb and per chaos, and about 4 coins equals about 1 chaos. Every 1 chaos equals about 13 or 11 0.5-ish jeweler orbs. So I did 4, so 1 chaos basically for 13. So it's a little bit more. So if someone's looking for the coin trade, I can make it some extra jewelers by doing this. If we go back to here, you're going to see an example of that. So what I want to buy, I want chaos, and I have jewelers. So people are buying them at 11.5, like I said. Now if we do the reverse, I have jewelers and I want chaos, jewelers to chaos. Same thing here. People are selling them at 11.3. So there's that small difference there that they're making the money on. And some of them are bigger than others. But unless you plan on manipulating the market, which is, another video, another time type of thing, that's up to you. I'm not going to go over that so much, the manipulation part of it, but this is basically used. It's pretty self-explanatory what you want and what you have. So if you want elks and you have chaos, you click here and you can see this is the going price. 1 chaos will buy you 4 elks. So you can see what stuff is worth. And if that doesn't sound like a good deal to you, then, obviously you don't have to sell your item. Same thing here. I want chisels. I have chaos. Or let's say I have chromatics. Now no one's selling that deal. Sometimes you're going to get this because it's kind of a weird deal, so I'm not surprised. But there you go. This person, what you'll receive, I'll get 5 of these for 9 of these. Well, you can look up, okay, I want to buy fusings for chaos. How much would it cost me then? 3 I get about 3 per 1 chaos. So if we go back to that deal, 3 per 1 chaos. Oop, it's breaking on me. Sometimes this happens. 3 per 1 chaos. So now you're seeing that for 3 chaos, you can have about 9 fusings. So 5 of these is costing you 3 chaos. Well, that's probably not worth it, because if I wanted to buy them, I could buy them at 3 to 1, which means I would be able, well, a little less than 3 to 1, but we're just rounding up for simplicity. So that means I can get 9 chisels for 3. That one's almost basically offering me 5 chisels for about the same currency rate as 3 chaos would be in fusings. So it gets a little confusing there, but that's how that works. You can look up all the different items that you need that are considered currency, your different, your sacrifices and your mortals and your different keys, your offerings, the fragments, all your breaches, your beastry orbs, all these orbs down here. So your nets, you can look up all that. And that's basically how this page works. So we're going to move on from there because I try to keep my videos a little bit shorter. So I have an example here. I'm going to go to this website actually first. This is called the POE Affix website. I'll try to link all this stuff down below in the description as well. And basically what this allows you to do is go through each different piece. Axe, claw, dagger, etc. Two-handeds. You can do your body armors based on the different types they are. So evasion, energy shield, armor, etc. Boots, shield, all the way over accessories, belts, flasks, your different jewels, and then maps and strong boxes. So if I were to go to an energy shield, repetitive, this is going to tell me what is a prefix, this side. So prefix, energy shield, suffix, prefix, suffix. What you can do, prefix master mods, suffix master mods, essence mods, signatures, shapes, elders, etc. Now, it might not have everything on here, but it's relatively accurate. And if you look on here, you can see that energy shield is here, percent increased energy shield. So when I bought my shield, it had an open prefix. So I was able to add that on there, which is why I got it so cheap. For a rule of thumb, all your resistances, unless something changes or something I don't know about, are always going to be a suffix right here. So if you look at this item, I'm searching shields that are at least 190 for at least a total resist of 60. And this is a good starter shield for the build that I'm currently running. I selected no for crafting because I want to be able to craft on it because we're looking for those, cheaper items. And then I hit search. And of course, okay, it's still there, good. So here's all the different items. Now corrupted, I should have said no corrupted because you can't change corrupted items either, for the most part at least. So I should have said no to that. And I see some question marks in here, and it's because they're hybrid roles and it doesn't know if it's a hybrid role. So you have this right here, 16 stun, 40 here. So if I look here to the increased energy shield stun, and I go to the 16 stun, which is here, it can roll 39 to 42. So most likely, this is a hybrid roll right here. And this can most likely add on more energy shield. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure this is a hybrid roll. Because if I look at the other energy shield bases, percent energy shield increase, it goes 11 to 28, 27 to 42. So it had to be that one there. And where is it? Right here. So there's a bunch of different things it could be. And this is where it gets a little bit confusing. This could be 27. So if we took a calculator and minus it and whatnot, 27 minus that, it's going to be what, 13? Top of my head, I believe, yep. And if I were to look here and try to find, is there a 13 one? It could be this. But the problem with that is is that this doesn't match up. See, it's supposed to be 16 on the stun duration and block duration. 16. And since there is no other stat for stun duration, block duration on this side, then we'd have to look over here. Increase stun and block. These ones all start out high, 11, 16, etc. So now what it could be is the stone of this plus the strong willed of that. But usually the site would have been able to detect that and pick that up. So what I'm guessing is that this has an open prefix, and you would be able to buy this shield, slap on the prefix, and this would pop way over 300. I could be wrong, but it should be able to do that. The example I wanted to bring up was this shield right here. This is a 242 shield. Don't know how much it cost. But say he had it up here for 5 chaos. You could buy the shield and add as 2 suffixes, 2 prefixes, which means you could easily add another resistance. Now these don't have, there's no stun on here, which means these are pure rolls on both of these, so you can't add any more energy shield to it. But you could add another resist to it. And that's how I kind of found my shield and find items in general on this site using that method. Like I said, I'm not sure 100% on this one. You'd have to double check, but I think this one can roll higher if I'm not mistaken, if I'm doing it right. And you can do this for any item, shields, amulets, etc. I did this with my amulets as well. You find something that you can add a little bit extra to as far as resistance goes or whatnot. And then last but not least is here, helmet, same thing. The reason I have this example up is because of the health thing, like I said. For right here, this one has an open prefix, or has 2 open prefixes, so it's suffix, 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 open prefix. That's not health, which means I can add health onto this, and I can hit, for 10 alteration orbs, I can hit up to 54 life, which is not a bad, trying to just start out item for 1 elk. You really need the resist, and you don't want to spend multiple chaos. This is how actually I personally find a lot of my leveling items. I'll type in, maximum level 46 with a bunch of resistance, and I add a life roll to it, and that way I can switch out my gold rim for this item and not risk losing my gold rim for what is inevitably a much cheaper item and probably better for me anyways because it's got, some armor or some evasion on it. So if you have any comments, questions, concerns about the websites, let me know. That's basically how, like I said, I rolled this. Eventually I'll be taking that mod off and getting a 74% increased energy shield roll on that, hopefully. But like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them below in the comment section, and I will do my best to answer them. And I'm hoping to bring you guys some more guides, more basic, starter guides for the game to help the newer players out. Because like I said, I have a lot of newer players that come in. You can catch me Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. almost every week. That schedule is almost the same every week, depending on when I have to actually work. And you can come in and check out the Twitch channel, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Hit the follow button. It really helps. Thanks a lot, YouTube.